wanna change the world. I just want the perfect girl. I don't wanna hang around, I'd rather be found. It gets better, I wonder, my pleasure together. Everyone's waiting, anticipating. Change the world, but I'm not gonna wait my turn. I don't ever want to come down, I'd rather be found. It gets better, I wonder, my pleasure together. Everyone's waiting, anticipating. It's about you. I will never be alone again. I'm immune to the things they said. My heart's unbreaking. You're radiant truth. I know that you will understand, because I finally found myself. My heart's unbreaking. You're radiant. You're radiant. I wanna come again. I wanna be so high in your eyes. I wanna disappear inside you and be alright tonight. You say your medicine is all that I require, and that I'm blinded by the stars in my eyes. to what I need. Put a picture so I can see. February can't chase the days away. Yeah, I would. Why listen to what they say? Save yourself for another day. This one's coming, it's gone to the wind again. Yeah, again. Again. Just listen and make amends. You've been down for as long as you've ever been. This way's up, but you're down again. It's just like you to pull off what you thought you couldn't think today. The lost stranger, the wonder familiar face. Broken hearts made of pieces that shake. I've had one too many of them. So now we pretend. Yo. How we doing, guys? Just like snow castles, we drift to the edge. Just like snow castles, we drift to the edge. Just like snow castles, we drift to the edge. Yo. Oh, we drift to the edge. Oh, we drift to the edge. Yo, we drift. Just like snow castles. To the Let's go. Yo, he had a band too? Let's go. Do it. Do you need anything like I need you? It's over. Do you need anything like I need you? Come on. Whoa. Yo, what up, dude? Is it Thursday? I don't even know what day it is. I think it's Thursday.
I suspect that it's Thursday. He cut his wrist instead. It's not Friday here. It's 10:50 p.m. It's definitely not Friday. I would rather be in hell than regrets. Do you need anything like I need you? Oh, if you're East Coast, it's Friday. Do you need anything like I need you? Come on. You know I do. Dude, what a great riff. Woo! Here we go. Here we go. A denial. Let's go. Oh, it is. Oh, it's Friday in Central too. Yeah, no, I think it's Friday just about everywhere except here. Dude, dad shoes. No fucking way, bro. Dude, come on, boss. Let's go. Oh, dad shoes. Here we go. Biddies. Dude, let's go. Oh, let's go, dude. Dad shoes, you're crazy. Thank you, boss. Let's fucking go, dude. Dad shoes coming in hot. Show dad shoes the love. Let's go. Dude, it's Friday already in Sydney. Let's go. Oh, I love that. It's like 4 p.m. in Sydney. That's amazing. So, guys, somebody mentioned Nancy Mace. I know she's like part of the whatever, the mega comparison video I did right now that is absolutely tanking. But, guys, did you see the news? Okay? Dude, this one's for you, dad shoes, because you know how crazy Nancy Mace is, right? But guys, look at this, okay? Here's the poll that came out, okay? This is the poll that came out. Now, this is Trafalgar Group, which means this poll is like not slanted. Trafalgar is like super accurate, okay? It is a super accurate, like nonpartisan polling group. And they did the Republican race for governor poll right now. And only the top two advance. It is right. And look at that though, dude. Okay. Pamela Yvette and Alan Wilson and Ralph Norman. Dude, Nancy Mace is all the way down. She's all the way down near the bottom. Okay, she is a full 10 points behind the leader and 8 points behind the second place guy. Isn't that insane? I mean, it's beauty. This is a work of art, guys. What kind of name is Rom? I don't know. Maybe he's a computer. Maybe they're a computer programmer. But isn't this fantastic? I fucking love this, guys. I love this. You know why? Because, Nancy Mace is about to be unemployed. Oh, wait. Hold on. Yo, Nancy, what's up? How you doing? Yeah, we're looking at your poll. Yeah, I know. I know you thought the whole trans panic thing was going to work for you. I know you thought polishing Trump's knob was going to do something, but dude, he is wildly unpopular. And you're batshit crazy, and everybody knows it. The truck stop shit, the fucking, your staff fleeing, you were yelling at police officers in an airport. Now, it's not all bad news, okay? Because we know that you have this obsession with like bathrooms and like the women's room. Remember, you're going around the country taking pictures of you in the restrooms. So my girlfriend and I, Jenny, we have a job for you. Seeing as you're about to be unemployed, We have a job for you as our official bathroom monitor. All right. Now, there is one tiny hitch. It's in our house. The bathroom is gender neutral. I know, Nancy. I know that's a real problem. But you know what we will do is like, we'll give you a prosthetic to wear, and you can kind of pretend you're like, being a cop. All right? All right? How's that sound? Huh? You shitter! All right, bye-bye, Nancy. We'll see you. Yeah, it pays $2 an hour. Yeah, and you have to clean the toilet. All right? All right, love you. Fuck you. Bye-bye. Dude! Oh, shit! Dude, that may have been like my favorite Kermit phone call ever, dude. Oh shit. I don't know if that one's gonna resonate with the audience, but that personally was the most enjoyable Kermit phone experience I've had. I feel like I had a little tickling in my loins after that. All right, dude. Oh shit. Dude, yes, dude. 7 days a week, dude. Jenny, we have a new bathroom monitor. All right, Nancy Mace is moving in. She's gonna clean the toilets. All right, she needs a job. Dude, give Nancy a packer. Dude, what the fuck is a packer, bro? Give Nancy a packer. What does that even mean, dude? Oh shit, bro. The official wiper, the official political punk fucking dude. Nancy is going to be my personal bidet. Oh, dude. Oh, fuck, bro. We're gonna, although I should have told her on that phone call, I should have told her that she only gets to hit the crack pipe like twice a week. All right, we are taking away the everyday crack pipe if she comes and lives with us. Oh shit, dude, this is great news. Okay, it really is. It is great news because she is being such a fucking weirdo. And my fucking tweet too, I know she's seeing this, okay? I know she's seeing this tweet because it is getting a lot of play, okay? It's getting a lot of activity, and I did tag her in it. And so I do, I have been also leaving her comments under her shit here, like letting her know, right, that, that we see that she's basically in, yo, crackhead. Dude, I am enjoying this, okay? Yvette is a brazen racist. Yeah, well, so here's the thing. Here's the thing about this, guys, is all of these people, like everybody in the Republican Party that's running is a fucking racist. I mean, South Carolina had a higher enslaved population than it did like free population. Back in the day, it was like 65% enslaved, 70% enslaved. So yeah, the racism here is gnarly. It is gnarly. I mean, I don't think any one of these Republican nominees are not like super racist. It sucks. But yeah, dude, she's crazy. I think the thing is these two are just less outrageous. Like Nancy Mace is like, she's even outrageous for South Carolina. And what's more, can I just tell you, I'm going to lay it on the line too, guys. You ready for this? Here's what killed Nancy Mace, okay? What killed her campaign is Donald Trump. And I know she's been like tying herself to him and MAGA-ing and trying to be his biggest fan, thinking his followers would follow her. But you know what did her in, guys? is Donald Trump has ruined it for all of the promise candidates. Okay? Think about it. He ran his entire campaign. He promised Epstein files. He promised gas prices. He promised electricity bills in half. He promised mass deportations, right? He promised the world and he delivered zero. So every candidate that is out there promising, like, yeah, I'm going to remove the income tax, I'm going to cut your energy bills, nobody's believing them. All of those candidates are fucked, right? You have to have some kind of like substantive argument. Anybody who is a Republican that is making promises about what they're going to do, none of their people are going to believe them. Like, Trump has ruined it. He's poisoned the well, guys. And they're really discovering that because Nancy ran on a campaign of these big, bold promises. And it's actually the Trump connection that is costing her because he has ruined it for the promise candidates because he's come through on none of them, right? He has blown them all, you know, and she did. I mean, Angie, she did, but she like the thing about Nancy Mace and the Epstein files, dude. Chris Peoples, let's go, dude. Hey, bosses, let's go. Thank you, boss. Holy shit, guys, coming in hot. Thank you, Chris. Let's go. So the thing about her and the Epstein files is she did come forward and sign the discharge petition, and she has talked a big game, but she hasn't actually like forcefully done it. She has exonerated Donald Trump. She's being in sort of the, you know, her Boebert and Anna Paulina Luna that are still insisting it's just this Democrat thing and Trump had nothing to do with it. And so they're allowing the cover up. Like, she is not, you may have noticed she's not calling out Trump and Todd Blanche for not releasing these things. She keeps talking about like the files and talking about the survivors, but she doesn't call out the people that are preventing them from coming out. So what I think she did is I think she did that because she had to, because all of the MAGA voters were about releasing the Epstein files. So knowing that she was running for governor, she had to support the EFTA. She had to. She had no choice. Otherwise, she would have alienated her whole base. But the problem is she has not fully, you know, gone to bat for them. She's like, yeah, we got to release them. And now that they're not getting released, she's like, oh, we got to find justice. Well, how do you find justice? You get Todd Blanche to release this shit. I mean, it's real easy. Everybody knows at this point, even MAGA, they know that like Trump's in there. They may not admit it, but they know. They know. At this point, nobody has any doubt that Donald Trump is all over this shit. And he's the reason it's not coming out. But yeah, man, screwed. And you're right. Snow is right. She thought it was all Democrats. I mean, they all did, guys. They all thought this was all Democrats, right? Dude, Todd Blanche, fuck Todd Blanche. Seriously, dude, that guy, what a degenerate. But this, guys, this is one of those things where you have to file it under really good news, because essentially what's going to be happening is like some people are leaving the circus, okay? Like Nancy Mace is going to be out of the circus, okay? She's still going to like mill around, and she's still going to insert herself in, you know, herself in our lives. But like, guys, in 6 more months, you know, 8 more months, we're never going to have to see Nancy Mace ask some unrelated, you know, person, what is a woman, in the middle of like a finance committee meeting, right? You know what I'm saying? Dude, Dude, she can be a lobbyist. I don't know if she can be a lobbyist, Bingewood. I don't know because she's not well liked. Okay? She is not well liked. I don't know if anyone would really want her as a lobbyist. What I imagine she's going to do is I think she's going to get involved in some type of, like, she's going to grab a cause. I bet she's going to do some sort of Riley Gaines type thing where she's going to take up like a transgender issue or some other culture war issue, and she's going to go on Fox News all the time and become a voice about some like culture war issue. And then she's going to try to rally that into something. And then maybe she's going to run for another office. But I bet she's going to grab a culture war issue, probably something to do with transgender people. And then she's going to try to get herself on TV every day. Okay. Yeah. See, Kyrsten Sinema was a much better lobbyist because, you know, she was like, you know what I mean? The Democrats hated her, but the corporations loved her. I think Nancy Mace is a little bit of a liability because she is a fucking disaster. She is. I mean, she's just too messy. You know what I'm saying? She's too messy. She's creating a negative attention everywhere she goes. But we'll see. We'll see. I think we're going to see her on Fox News, guys. I think she's going to become like a regular Fox News, Newsmax, you know, Lindell TV spokesperson, like leading the culture war. What will be interesting, you ready for this? It will be interesting to see if she gets involved with like TPUSA, because she's been pretty separate from that. And that will be interesting to see if she gets involved with TPUSA. I'll be curious about that, right? I'll be curious what she does with like Trump's energy fading. Now, one other thing though, somebody mentioned about the online trans girls. What the fuck is going on with Brianna Wu, dude? Every day now, I'm seeing Brianna Wu making videos. Dude, did somebody put her on the payroll? Like all of a sudden, she is trying to like eke her way back in as like this middle of the road figure. She has been such a disaster after the whole Gaza episode, and now she's trying to like claw her way back in. Dude, she's really pissing me off because I just can't do it anymore. I used to really, really like her, but she is fucking killing me now, dude. I think she's getting paid. I think she's on the 7,000 like list. You know what I mean? The 7,000 club. You know how people are getting paid? Like, I think she's getting paid to make videos, guys. Because she is making videos now every day. She's like, hey. And she's always like in the comments, she's like, I have a vagina. Dude, I'm like, what is she doing, bro? She is like vying for Blair White's spot, you know? Like, what the fuck, dude? Oh, shit. Oh, that's funny, right? Dude, she's had the surgery. She definitely is a woman, right? In you know, I mean, like physically, she's a physical woman. I just think it's funny that she's like, you know, like talking about it, like trying to like debate with these right wingers, you know, because she is drawing a right wing audience. You know, she's getting a lot of right wingers who are like liking her because, you know, you know how they are. If you disavow your people, the right wing will be like, come hang out with us, right? Like you can be a trans person on the right. You just have to go out and say that the trans people are bad and they're being asking for too much and they're like, you know, they need to be like reined in. And if you do that, and if you go and shit on all the trans people, they will welcome you in there. You've never heard of her? Yeah, no, somebody mentioned it. She was from Gamergate, and you know, she's married to a really wealthy guy. So they have, you know, she has a lot of money. She has a lot of, you know, a lot of marriage money, right? Taylor Lorenz. Oh yeah, dude. I mean, dude, Taylor Lorenz is like slamming everybody, boss. Everybody but her and Ken Klippenstein are kind of like they are above the fray, dude. Dude, Taylor Lorenz blocked me. You know what I'm saying? She did. She used to follow me. She went from following me to blocking me. Right? Right? But whatever. Whatevs, boss. Oh, shit. Yeah, I have not seen the thing. Somebody put a link to it. Somebody put a link to it in Discord. But let's look at the Trump situation. Okay, we do have to look at the Trump situation. Let's find this. All right. Brutal. Brutal. Dude. Oh my God, dude. All right, we're going to watch a couple Trump clips. Because Trump was obviously like way over. Dude, Trump, dude, I mean, I think these questions were fair, okay? Because think about this, guys. We're going to look at a couple of clips here, okay? We're going to look at a couple of clips here because here's what's going on is national gas prices, okay? The national gas price is $4.50 is the national average. $4.50, guys. That's crazy. That is like, if we look at it, okay? If we look at it, the highest recorded average was $5 at the height of the pandemic, okay? So we are now 50 cents below the highest average, okay? We are 50 cents below the highest average. And dude, we're not in the pandemic, okay? We were actually like mostly recovered from the pandemic. And I think it's going to go over. I think within the next year, it probably won't happen until after the election, but I guarantee you by January of 2027, we're going to be over 5, okay? We're going to be over 5. I mean, it is brutal. You know, the averages, even down here, look at this. The average in Mississippi is $4, guys. Dude, Mississippi is normally like 2.25, okay? Because they're on Refinery Row. They don't tax it. You know, this is like when you have Mississippi and Louisiana having $4 gas, you know you're screwed, okay? You are screwed. Now, on top of this, okay, on top of this, guys, look at what Trump said. Okay, you ready? Let's get the Trump clip, okay? Because here, this is what's insane. All right? Sorry, I should have bookmarked it, but I did not because I knew it was in the Rupar clips, but I'm just going to go to the beginning of the fucking Rupars before he starts retweeting them. All right, here we go. All right. You ready? Look at this. This is crazy. Here we go. Dude, dude, it is nearly the highest gas prices that we have had in history. And here he goes.
What happened with Project Freedom, Mr. President? Why was that suspended? Administration officials were talking about this being the next phase of the war.
Really wonderful leadership at place. As you know, Pakistan has been fantastic, and their leaders have been fantastic. The Field Marshal and the Prime Minister. And they asked us not to do it. We'll go back to it if we have to. They asked us not to do it during the negotiation.
Are you considering maybe going back to that now that gas prices are more than $4.50?
It could, well, no, gas prices have come down today. Have you looked? They've come down very substantially today. Gas prices, you know what's happened today? Gas prices are way down and the stock market is way up today. So gas prices have come down, and I saw today that they broke negatively. In other words, to our positive position, they broke our way very substantially. And when the war is over, gas will fall down at levels that you've never seen before. You'll be down to where you were, maybe even lower.
Dude, he's full of schmidt, bro. There's nobody out there that saw gas prices fall today, okay? That's called being a fucking liar, right? Dude, nothing has gone down. He's like, gas prices are way down. He said, as soon as this war is over, shit's gonna go down like you've never seen. No, it's not. Gas is not coming down for like 2 years. And even when it does get down after 2 years, it is going to be probably 75 cents more expensive than it ever was on average, right? You'll be lucky if it ever goes under $3 a gallon again, okay? I think the lowest we will ever see gas will probably be maybe $2.75 in the right, maybe. But that's like 2 years from now. I think it's going to keep going up. I think it's going to go up like substantially in the next year. Absolutely. And in fact, even after the war's over, I would not be surprised if after the war's over, they jack it just to try to recoup, to fund all their whatever infrastructure, construction, you know, getting the whatever supply lines back in order, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, this is not like they are not coming down. They are never going to be $2.25 again, ever in history. And he says, you look like you've never seen, maybe even lower than before.
What happened with Project
Dude,
Freedom, Mr.
fucking liar, bro. The shit he says at the end.
Negatively, in other words, to our positive position, they broke our way very substantially. And when the war is over, gas will fall down at levels that you've never seen before. You'll be down to where you were, maybe even lower.
Down to where you were, maybe even lower. Dude, no fucking way, bro. This shit is so brutal. Look at this, dude. Look at this. We are almost at the peak. Okay? We are almost at the peak, guys. Summer of 2022. And you know what's crazy, guys? Is this isn't even consumption, okay? This is just, look at this hike here. Nobody's using this. Wait until summer. Wait until summer consumption comes, okay? I mean, you know what's happening in summer, right? The World Cup. Oh, shit, dude. Give me a fucking break. You know what's going to happen during the World Cup? I think it's going to be $6 a gallon, dude. By the time all these people like pile in, dude, there's just no fucking way, bro. It's going to break the record. And hopefully right before November. Dude, no one is showing up. I hope nobody shows up. But I still feel like some people are going to, you know, because there's a whole bunch of like hardcore Catholics and shit, you know what I'm saying, that are probably still going to come because they don't care about the racism. But we'll see. I hope everybody boycotts it. Dude, crazy. out fucking rageous, man. Unbelievable. Now, again, guys, we know from Biden, from other people, the president cannot unilaterally make the price of gas come down. Okay? The president cannot. They don't actually have control of the gas prices. However, the president does have the ability to not start a war in the Middle East that creates an entire shortage and chaotic shock to the supply of the worldwide oil. Right? You know what I mean? Like, the president doesn't control the gas prices, but he can choose to not engage in war behavior that disrupts the flow of oil and causes a worldwide shock to the oil producing and distributing infrastructure, so the whole world gets fucked. Okay? The president does have control over that behavior. Right? Not being an asshole. You know what I'm saying? You know? Like for instance, guys, I can't really control how much water a restaurant down the street uses, but I can control whether I go and smash out all their fucking pipes and just flood the place, right? I mean, I do have control over that, right? So if I go and smash out all their pipes and I flood the place, and then they have an increased water bill and damages to their premises, they could blame me for that at that point. You know? Oh, fuck, dude. That is hilarious. Like, what a fucking dick, bro. What a fucking dick. He's just lying, okay? He is lying through his teeth. All right, now, there's another fucking situation here, okay? Let's find the one where Rachel Scott talks to him, okay? She asks him a question that I thought was a very valid question, okay? This one I bookmarked. There we go. Okay. So, right? Rachel Scott, you guys may remember Rachel Scott. Donald Trump has had a long history of hating her, okay? And this, he's never liked her because she's a black woman, and he doesn't like black women, especially black women in power. But in particular, you may have remembered during the campaign, there was an event for black journalists. Remember? There was an event for black journalists, and Donald Trump showed up to speak, and Rachel Scott asked him some questions, and he got all combative. Oh, you're not going to say hi. You're not going to ask me how I'm doing. She was basically asking him, hey, you know, you want these people to vote for you, but you've done some really alarming shit around people of color. How can these people trust you? He got super combative, and he walked off the stage early. He quit the fucking event because she caused him to fold. And so he's been super bitter ever since then, extra bitter. But now, guys, she asked him about the infrastructure project, okay? Because Trump is spending all this money on a ballroom. He's spending money on the reflecting pool at the Washington Monument. They're redoing shit around the Capitol grounds. And she is saying, hey, and I think this is a legitimate question. Why are you focusing on these, granite floors and these, new reflecting pool? You're spending tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars on these vanity projects when, we're at war. You're spending $1 billion a day and gas prices are out of control. And you're just hey, man, I'm fucking spending a whole bunch of money on personal vanity projects. Okay? It's a fair question, but here he goes. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Mr. President, you are here against the backdrop of the war in Iran. Why focus on all these projects right now?
You know
still
why?
seeing gas
Because I
prices
want to
soar.
keep our country beautiful and safe. Beautiful also. This place was a disgusting place. It was Washington Monument, the Lincoln Memorial, and we had a terrible I don't know, you probably don't see dirt, but I do. And you walk down this pond, if you would have walked down, they'll tell you better than anybody. They had to take 11 or 12 truckloads of garbage out of that lake, out of that water, and it sat there for years like that. And that's not what our country is about. Our country is about beauty, cleanliness, safety, great people, not a filthy capital.
What is the
That's
status?
such a stupid question that you ask. We're fixing up the reflecting pond to the Lincoln Memorial, the Washington Monument, and you say, why are you fixing it up? Because you can understand dirt maybe better than I can, but I don't allow it. This is one of the worst reporters. She's with ABC Fake News, and she's a horror show. She's saying, why would you bother fixing this up? Why would I bother taking 11 or 12 truckloads of filth out of the water in front of the Lincoln Monument? That's what made our country great. Beauty made our country. People made our country great. A question like that is a disgrace to our country. Any other questions?
Mr. President, I'm also with ABC News. Can I ask
Dude,
Fake
about
news.
the
dude,
hantavirus? Have you
look at him though. So a couple of things here. First off, he has a fucking meltdown. Like, did you see him? How it built up? He ignored it. He kept talking. And then it just stewed in him, right? He didn't say anything. Oh, the Washington Monument, the Lincoln Memorial. Then next thing you know, the Lincoln Monument. And like you recognize dirt. This is what makes America great. The reflecting pool starts flipping out. Triggered. Yo, Trumpy, dude. Oh, somebody's a little triggered, aren't you? Huh? You pant shitter? God damn, dude, you're thin-skinned. Dude, you are a cock, bro. We all know that Melania is probably polishing Gavin's knob right now, dude. All right, go fuck yourself. Bye-bye. Dude, what? He just fucking folded. Now, guys, you ready for this? Here's one thing, though, I do want to show you that I thought was just a real sign of this thing. Look at Mark Wayne Mullen back here, okay? Because he's turning over here and, like, doing the whole, like, hey, she's so bad. She's the worst reporter. But look at him, dude. He never, even Mark Wayne Mullen won't, like, join in. Even Mark Wayne Mullen is just like, oh, fuck, bro. Dude, the old guy's having a meltdown. Look at him.
Because you can understand dirt maybe better than I can, but I don't allow it. This is one of the worst reporters. She's with ABC.
Look at him.
And she's a horror show. She's saying,
dude,
why
he's
would
like,
you bother fixing this up? Why would I bother taking 11 or 12 truckloads of filth out of the water in front of the Lincoln?
Dude, he is just looking down, bro. He's like, oh, shit, dude. Right? No. Now, we know if this had been Howard Lutnick, if it had been his fellow Epstein classmate, Lutnick would have been back there smiling and laughing and yucking it up, okay? And later you see Doug Burgum over here laughing and yucking it up. But, dude, Mark Wayne Mullen's like, oh, fuck, bro. Dude, you know, and this guy is a shit kicker, right? But even the shit kicker doesn't even want to get involved in Trump's meltdown. You know, now I do have to say, Trump, no offense. Oh, what do you mean? Oh, what? Dude, you're a little emotional there, little buddy. I'm sorry, but I think, I think Trump seems a little emotional to lead, don't you? He's getting a little emotional. It's like one question sets him off. I don't know, Trumpy. And then to finish it off, guys, okay, after this, after this went on, when Trump left, he called Rachel Scott a bitch as they left. Look at him.
Thank you, press. Thank you, press. This way. Thank you, press. Thank you, press. Thank you, press. Thank you, press. This way. Thank you, press.
Yeah, he's like, she's a bitch. See that? Look at that. She's a bitch. Bitch. Dude.
Thank you, press. Thank you, press. This way. Thank you, press. Thank you, press.
Look at him.
Thank you,
Dude. Oh, shit,
press.
bro.
Thank you, press. This way. Thank you, press. Thank
Dude. He is just so emotional. So emotional, right? He finishes taking questions. He resorts to, you know, being a misogynist, creepy goon, okay? You know, I mean, dude, just come on. Oh, the president, and Burgum's over here just yucking it up. Dude, he is terrible, bro. You know? And so he just can't take any sort of like realistic questions, right? He can't, dude. He is incapable. If you don't go up and like suck on the knob, all right, he just can't handle it. That was just a simple fucking question. I think it's a good question too, because guys, there's nothing against, I have nothing against beautifying the reflecting pool or whatever, making DC look good. I totally get that, right? But we're in the middle of a fucking war that is disrupting the whole world economy. That shit can wait. Like, they don't have a healthcare plan. They kicked a bunch of people off their medical insurance. Okay. They have like gutted many government agencies to where our soft power is like gone. We're flailing. They're like doing military raids, threatening Cuba, right? You know what I mean? It's like, what are we doing, dude? Like you're focusing on like granite floors and a reflecting pool now. That shit is not important. Like let's address like two core issues for the American people. Address healthcare and address, the national debt or something. You know what I mean? Or stopping the war, or, having some sort of mandate to take care of the oil prices. Like, for example, guys, you ready? Why can't oil companies take less profit for a year, right? Why should we pay the elevated prices? They're going to benefit when this is over, and when supposedly this is going to be for their benefit and our energy benefit. So why don't the oil companies take, 30% less profits for 1 year, 1.5 years? If it's really that important that we do this, right? The oil companies, they have record profits. They certainly could do with 30% less for a year, right? They have a lot more, assets than we do, than we, the people of America, do. Give me a fucking break, dude. Isn't that wild? All right. And then here's another one. You ready? You ready for an oldie but goodie? Because something that's been in the news lately, guys, is the hantavirus. Okay, this is new. If you guys don't know about hantavirus, it is like there's been a cruise ship where this is cropped up. Now, this thing is pretty serious if you get it. It's like the hantavirus, 40% of the people who get it don't survive. So it is very, very deadly. Now, traditionally, the transmission has gone from rat to human, not rat, from mouse. Like, I believe it's mostly like a field mouse from the Southwest, but it goes mouse to human, okay? So, right? So mouse to human. However, viruses do mutate, guys, okay? So simply because something goes from rat to human, mouse to human, does not mean that thing, if it wants to propagate, may end up one day going human to human, okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying it's there yet, but like viruses do mutate, guys. That does happen, okay? So right now, it looks like it's not transmissible, or as far as they know, it's not transmissible, but even if it's not transmissible, if it's the virus comes from the rats, gets into the air, gets into whatever, I don't know how it transmits, it still is a little bit of a danger, okay? Right? It is still a little bit of a danger. I mean, we don't know what's going to go on with this, but look at what he says here, though.
I'm also with ABC News. Can I ask you
Fake
about
news.
the hantavirus? Have you been briefed on the virus?
Yes, I have.
Can you tell us what you learned in these briefings?
Well, I
Should
think you're
Americans-
going to be told everything, and you already have. It's very much, we hope, under control. It was the ship, and I think we're going to make a full report about it tomorrow. We have a lot of people, a lot of great people are studying it. It should be fine. We hope.
Should Americans be concerned that it's going to spread? And how are you
I hope
working to
not.
get
I
those
mean, I hope
Americans
not. We'll do the
home?
best we can, yeah.
To get the Americans that are on the
Go
ship
ahead.
home. Mr. President.
Dude, so he starts off with fake news when she says she's with ABC. Then he says the same shit he said, okay? He said the same shit he said in COVID. Oh, yeah, I think we got it under control, right? You're not going to know anything. You're not going to hear anything that you're not going to find out. I think it's under control. Oh, I think it's under control. We hope so. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry if you die. Dude, like, we've heard that before. But guys, you ready for this? Let me just show you. Let me just show you guys, because this is crazy. Okay? Look at this, guys. Look at this. Where is it? It is right here. All right? I want to show you this woman, because here's what MAGA are saying. Okay? Now, again, right now, guys, I don't think at this time Hanta is something to, like, stress over. I don't. It is not right now. But we don't know what this thing is going to do or even how these people are getting it. But look at what this person said. Look at this woman. Okay? She is a MAGA woman. And look at her response here, guys. Because this is very telling, okay? It is right here. Right here. Dude, it was early. I replied to a lot of fucking comments today. But, all right, so there's a couple of things. First off, one woman was saying about ivermectin should work against it, which is not true. They're already starting on ivermectin, these peoples. Oh, ivermectin. Ivermectin will not help you if you get Hanta, okay? That will not help you. But I think what was really telling, guys, was this one right here, okay, where here, let me find this. Was this woman, okay, this MAGA woman with the incredibly scary eyebrows, Okay, look at this. Oh my God, dude, this woman is crazy. But look at what she says. Okay, because she says something wild, boss. She says right here, where is it? Right here. Look at this. She says, hantavirus protocol. I will not be isolating, locking down, staying home, stopping work, following arrows, keeping a 6-foot distance, canceling birthdays or holidays, wearing gloves, covering my face, getting jabbed, or declaring my vaccine status to anyone. Right? Any questions? But guys, this is not just this woman. This is like the complete MAGA response to any and all future pandemics, which means that like there's going to be a lot of dead MAGA the next time there's a pandemic. Like literally just stay away from MAGA. If there's another pandemic, isolate away from MAGA, and they're going to get wiped out. This is so crazy. You know what I'm saying? Dude, this is so bizarre. Like who says that? Who says that? And you ready? It gets crazier, guys, because look at what Savannah Hernandez said. This is the crazy woman, okay? This is the crazy woman from that protest. Remember the protest who got pushed in the back? Savannah Hernandez, the MAGA reporter who pretends that she's fucking... Who is like, you know, I think she may have blocked me, actually. Dude, I think she blocked me because she's not showing up in search results. She may have blocked me. Let's see if we can find her. Okay, there she is. Did she block me? Oh, she didn't. All right, she's just out of search results. Maybe she made her profile unsearchable. But you ready for this, guys? Look at what she said. And I don't think she means this, but I wouldn't be surprised if she did. But look at what she says, guys. Dude, DL, hey, 𝗙cie 𝗙𝗪𝗧𝗙𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧 crazy, dude. I mean, most of her shit is about her, like, whatever. She's trying to, like, play up her little fucking thing. Right here. Oh, it was her reply to Matt Walsh blog. Look at what she said. She said, I would rather die from hantavirus than listen to anything any government official has to say about a virus ever again. Now, something tells me if she were dying of this virus, she would be the huge fucking crybaby. Huge victim. You know she would be a huge victim. If she got it, she would be like, oh my God, please don't let me die. Oh, please save me. Oh, please, please, I don't want to die. But the fact that she would even say this thing, okay? The fact that she would even say this, guys, is like so stupid. You know what I mean? Like, it is so dumb. Honestly. What is wrong with these people? What is wrong with these people? Where they're going to make a statement of like, Right? You know what I mean? Love the channel from Australia. Keep at it. Let's go, Joseph. Thank you, boss. We got Paula coming in hot, and then I'm going to set the dance party goal. Dude, these guys have broken brains. They have broken brains. Like, and you know what's so crazy about it too, though, is they would not stand up, right? Like, they won't stand up against an oppressive government, but they'll stand up against like a request to participate in behavior that will help alleviate a global pandemic. They're like, fuck you, man. Screw you for asking me to be like caring about my fellow human beings during a pandemic. Like, oh, how dare you ask me to wear a mask? But it's like, dude, you know, if the cops show up and put them in handcuffs, you're supposed to comply. Oh, anything the cop tells you, obey the cop, obey Donald Trump. But if a scientist says, yo, you might want to just wear a mask and keep a 5-foot distance so you don't kill your family members, they're like, fuck you. Fuck you. How dare you? Dude, they're so crazy, right? Isn't that weird? Like, a government scientist is like, you can't listen to them, but a police officer, you gotta like hop when they say, it's like so dumb. Dude, it is so weird. Maybe what we need is next time we have a pandemic, instead of having a scientist, have a police officer go out and read the shit. Or he can walk out with his gun and be like, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to put that mask on or I'm taking you in. I just don't get it. I mean, nothing they do makes sense. Okay, nothing they do makes sense. But there is a part of me that feels like now the earth knows. I think, guys, and follow me on this, okay? But what if COVID was the earth's trial run, okay? Because COVID showed up and traffic stopped, production stopped, the environment got a little bit of relief for like a year, and there was like a little bit of a die-off, okay? What if the earth was like, whoa, hey man, like that felt good when that pandemic was here. It felt good for the planet. And now they know that the very people who are graping the planet are just going to load up on ivermectin. So I feel like if the earth knows, if the earth is like tuning into the energy, we might have a pandemic and there might be a little maga reduction, right? The planet may bring about a maga reduction surgery. Right? Let's go, baby. Let's go. Oh, shit. I mean, Earth, I hear you aching. Oh, fuck. This shit is crazy. Now, again, guys, I don't think there's anything immediately to be worried about with hantavirus, and we will cover it when I do a little more research. I'm not going to cover it now because I don't have the research. But what I always worry about, guys, is I worry about the mutations. I do. I worry about the mutations. And that was the thing that was really interesting about COVID, was how fast it mutated. How fast that shit changed was pretty wild, okay? It was pretty wild how fast that shit changed. So I do worry about mutations, and not just for hantavirus, just in general. I worry about the animal to human viruses that, you know, eventually, because the animal to human viruses are the really dangerous ones, guys. And what is eventually going to happen is there's going to be an animal to human virus that's going to go human to human. It's just a matter of time, guys. You know, and somebody did mention how HIV started, you know, that was definitely a longer pathway, but I do worry about that at some point in the future, you know. So, but these people are fucking crazy, boss. They are, you know. You know what I'm saying? They're crazy. But this is great, dude. They're going to be cleaning the herd, okay? You know, but they're like right now, there is not a worry.
This is not coronavirus. This is a very different virus. We know this virus. Hantaviruses have been around for
like
quite
30
a while.
years.
There's a lot of detail that we know. I'm going to ask 𝗙ecie to come in and say this, but I want to be unequivocal here. This is not SARS-CoV-2. This is not the start of a COVID pandemic. This is an outbreak that we see on a ship. There's a confined area. We have 5 confirmed cases so far. We completely understand why these questions are coming. And
see, the problem with this is they don't know exactly how it's on this ship. You know what I'm saying? And like, it's airborne, not airborne. Obviously, something like this going airborne could be problematic if it went airborne in an urban area.
We are trying to provide all of the information that we can. That's why we're having a press conference here to give accurate information. And we're grateful for all of those out there who are asking these types of questions. But this is not the same situation we were in 6 years ago. It doesn't spread the same way like coronaviruses do. It's very different. It's that close, intimate contact that we've seen. And most hantaviruses don't transmit between people at all. Most hantaviruses are transmitted from rodents or their feces or their...
She said most. She said most. Okay, let's pay attention there.
Transmit between people at all. It's very different. It's that close, intimate contact that we've seen. And most hantaviruses don't transmit between people at all. Most hantaviruses are transmitted from rodents or their feces or their saliva, in their droppings, to people. And only this one particular virus, the Andes virus, which has been identified here, we've seen some human-to-human transmission. And again, I want to reiterate the actions
the Andes strain, right?
that are being taken on board are precautionary to prevent any onward spread. And so there's a lot that is being done right now to be able to try to minimize the risk even further. But I do want 𝗙ecie to come in and provide a little bit. No? Okay. Oh, okay. Thank you.
All right. So, not a risk, but not a guaranteed that it's going to stay not a risk. Okay. But I will say this, though, guys. The thing I just want to repeat is the day that a pandemic does show up again, guys, don't go near any MAGA fucking people. Okay. Stay away from MAGA if there is another pandemic. Okay, stay away from them because we're gonna let them carry their own burden. Okay, we are, dude. We are, right, dude. There's millions of viruses. There are, but the hanta is pretty fucking deadly. Okay, it is. The hanta is definitely pretty deadly. You don't want to get the hanta, okay? So if somebody says, hey, we got hanta over here, you're going to be like, nah, I'm going to take no hanta. Oh, shit. All right, moving on. We're not dwelling. We're moving fast tonight, guys, because I do want to get ahead on videos. So we're going to move fast. We're plowing through, guys. Let me see what's on the schedule here. All right. I do want to see some of these Nick Fuentes crash outs. Okay? Dude, Nick Fuentes is having one. Guys, Nick Fuentes is having some meltdowns. Okay? This shit is crazy. Dude. Oh, dude. All right. First off, we I want to be very clear here, okay? Nick Fuentes, he is not coming into our party, okay? And dude, we have to be very clear here, guys. We do, okay? Because he is crashing out because you're having the MAGA rift, okay? The America Firsters and the MAGA, they're having a rift. Now, I'm telling you, Graham Platner, okay? Graham Platner, by the way, I do want you to watch a video that I watched today from More Perfect Union, okay? More Perfect Union had a Graham Platner video. I'm going to put a link in the chat. It is a good video, guys, okay? It is a good video. And Platner I think he's going to win that Senate seat, okay? I think he's going to win that Senate seat. But here's the thing. Platner did have that fucking tattoo, the Totenkopf, okay? There are people, obviously, that some of the establishment has been playing up the Platner shit, right? He is about ending military aid to Israel. So there are powers that be from both parties that want to paint him like a crazy Nazi. Okay, I do not believe Graham Platner is a Nazi. I do not. Okay, I don't believe he's a Nazi. I don't necessarily know that he's not going to pull a Fetterman middle of the road shit when he gets in there. We will find out. But I don't believe, like, the more I hear his story, I think he literally went with some dudes and got really fucking hammered, and he was a young, stressed out guy, and they just got a fucking tattoo. And like, I'm a little surprised he didn't do something about it before he started the Senate campaign. But whatever. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe they didn't cover it because they knew it was going to create this huge fucking stir. And right? I mean, they may have known that it was going to leak and become a huge deal, and maybe they let it because they knew it was going to bring him more publicity than money could buy, okay? We don't know, okay? I mean, let me just say, if I ever ran for office, there are some things about my life that I would leak because I know they would put me in the center of the media attention and allow me to speak to it, okay? And the thing is when you say he said some questionable things, he has, but he also talks about how he came back from the war and he was really fucked up and he had PTSD and he was lonely and he was lost and he went online on Reddit and he fell into a community and like he was young and fucking stupid. And then eventually he woke up and he got his shit together. And so, like, I mean, that happens, man. I mean, dude, if you dug up some shit that I said to my friends, 25 years ago, if it was on, I don't know, on Reddit, people could find some shit about me too, about all of us. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like a year ago. It was like a while ago when he came back from the military. So anyway, I have let go of my angst for this guy. I've been researching him and I'm willing to give him a shot. Now, the reason why I'm bringing him up, okay? The reason why I am bringing him up is because there is a danger, guys. There is a danger with Graham Platner. Okay, you ready? Let me just say, let's presume that Graham Platner is not a Nazi, okay? That he is just a great guy and all of this shit was fucked up PTSD from the war. Even so, even if that's true, there are Nazis like the American First Groypers, like Nick Fuentes, that could try to get into our party following the same path of like, well, I'm not really a Nazi. It was right. I mean, we do run the risk of like allowing this guy to be imperfect that now real Nazis could try to do a Graham Platner to get amongst our ranks. So I think we do have to keep our eyes open, and we do have to still look at every individual case and really make people fucking, explain themselves. Okay. And that's what I worry about, because I worry about, like, when this guy starts talking about how I'm a Democrat now, I'm going to be a Democrat. It's like, no, Nick Fuentes, you're not. Okay. You know what I'm saying? But Nick Fuentes is a Nazi. Stephen Miller is a Nazi. Okay. I don't think Graham Platner is a Nazi. I don't think 𝗙ecie𝗶𝗹𝗀 is a Nazi. There was somebody who compared 𝗙cie𝗶𝗶𝗃 to fucking, Nick Fuentes. And I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up. I mean, I know Hassan is aggro and aggressive, and he says some shit that get people really riled. But there is 1,000 miles of difference between 𝗙cie𝗶𝗃 and fucking, Nick Fuentes. Okay? There is. There is 1,000, like 𝗙cie𝗶𝗃, whether you like him or hate him, I do believe he genuinely wants the world to be a better place for everybody. He really does. Okay? Nick Fuentes does not want the world to be a better place. Nick Fuentes wants to fucking, cause agitation and chaos and fucking, he wants to be an open racist piece of shit and get away with it. Okay? But all right, anyway, here we go.
This is something that I don't even see a lot of people talking about, but it's a really big deal. And it's part of why I switched parties. Part of why I'm so proud now to be a Democrat in 2026. And our featured story is all about a group of House Democrats led by Joaquin Castro, another Hispanic Latino Democrat. They wrote a letter to the Trump government, and they are now demanding that the U.S. government expose and acknowledge that Israel maintains an arsenal of nuclear weapons. Wholly based? How could anybody vote Republican? How could anybody be a Republican in 2026? What do they even do? What do they even do other than exonerate Jewish pedophiles, steal money, give amnesty to illegal aliens? What does the GOP even do? This is why I'm a proud Afro-Latino Democrat.
See, obviously he's trolling because of people like Laura Loomer that have been calling him a Democrat. I mean, look at him, okay? He's trolling. He's being a typical fucking whatever, griper troll. And he is responding particularly to what, people from MAGA that have been giving him shit. We're going to have a dirt nap PB dance party or what? Let's go. I forgot. I'm sorry. I forgot to. Let me hook up the dance party goal. My bad. Thank you for the reminder. But there is something to be said here, guys. Okay? You ready for this? I think the thing that I take from this is we know he's trolling. We know he's not a Democrat. We know if the Groypers try to become a Democrat, we're not letting them in. Okay? We're not. There no way that these guys, but I do think there is something to notice about how upset they are at the Republican Party. Okay? That is an important point, guys. Pine Box Dance Party, LFG! Because he is not a Democrat. He is definitely still just as degenerate America First post-MAGA as he ever was. But guys, I don't think these guys are voting in this election in 2026. I think there is a significant portion of the far right that will not cast any ballots for any like Republican congressional candidates. I don't think they're going to show up. I think they're going to sit at home and they're going to say, like, fuck the GOP. Like, let the GOP burn. Because these guys are not affected, okay? White guys in their 20s are completely unaffected by whoever's in office. It wouldn't matter if it was John Fetterman or Kamala Harris or fucking AOC or, you know, Zora Mamdani or Donald Trump or JD Vance. If you're a white guy in your 20s, nothing that is going on in the government is going to affect your life at all. You're going to get credit cards. You're going to get access to the business loans. You're going to get, you know what I'm saying? You are not going to get hassled by the police. You're not going to get audited. None of that shit is happening if you're a fucking white groiper idiot living in your goddamn mom's basement. They're just not. You know what I'm saying? It's just not going to affect them, right? They're relatively unaffected. I mean, they are by like prices and shit, but I'm saying in general, they're not going to lose any rights. They're not going to lose rights like women will or like transgender people will. They're not going to, you know, the cops are not going to check their IDs on the street and drag them off to jail. You know, none of that shit is going to happen to them. You know, it's that's why they usually don't even vote. You know what I'm saying? They usually don't even vote. And the poor people, though, like the poor people, they don't give a fuck. They're too stupid. Dude, the white poor people are too busy resenting and taking power over minorities for them to ever address the fact that they're actually getting fucked over. Okay? They are. They literally, white poor people don't ever address their shit. They blame their poverty on immigrants and transgender people and Democrats. And then that's how they go through life. Okay? That is how they go through life. And dude, they'd rather have the resentment and the anger than to like politically get active. Okay? Because they're too busy like polishing the billionaire knob. But I think they're going to sit out, guys. I think a lot of independents are going to sit out too. A lot of independents are either going to sit out or they're going to vote for the Democrats. But let's see where he goes with this, okay, with his little Democrat troll, because he is really shitting on the Republican Party, guys.
Yes, a group of 20 House Democrats sent a letter to the White House, and they say they will publish the president's response. And they say that it is a national security risk to maintain the ongoing policy of ambiguity regarding Israel's nuclear arsenal. Because, as you may or may not know, Israel does maintain a nuclear arsenal, 200 to 300 nuclear warheads deliverable by missiles, potentially also submarines. I don't believe they have a full triad. They don't have a strategic air force, but they do have Jericho missiles and submarines to deliver warheads. And they've had this capability since the mid-1960s. It has been the official policy of the U.S. government since the Nixon administration. We're basically in league with Israel. We have agreed with them to not disclose the existence of their arsenal. And so to this day, even though it is established fact that they have nuclear bombs, we will not acknowledge it as a matter of policy. And this is effectively just a courtesy to Israel. And this gives them more options, more maneuverability from a strategic point of view against their enemies over the years, like the Egyptians, the Syrians, and then eventually the Iraqis and the Iranians. The Democrats now say that in this current conflict with Iran, to not acknowledge or disclose Israel's nuclear status actually increases the risk of a strategic miscalculation.
Dude, these guys are like, he is so obsessed over, you know what I mean? Like, it's so funny with these groypers, how they are obsessed right? They are obsessed. And it's weird because this is one of the things that has been happening as I've watched Cenk and Anna. I doubt any of them have ever smoked a Jane's Addiction cassette tape before. I highly doubt that, Steph. I highly doubt that. But like, bro, this is where I feel like we're going to see Cenk and Anna at some point. They're going to be on the Fuentes train. You watch. They may not be open supporters, but we're going to see them defend his point of view at some point and say like, wow, even he's on our side, because they too are obsessed. Like, these guys are, they're just obsessed. Like, I mean, I don't want to dismiss the issues with Israel and them warring for us in the Middle East and their influence over our politics and what they did in Gaza. All of that shit is horrible and needs to be dealt with. But like, these guys, like, any issue that shows up will eventually bring them back to Israel. And the same with Cenk and the same with Anna. You can talk to them about any fucking issue on the planet, and within 2 minutes, they will be talking about Israel. They will get back to Israel the same way that, like, Trump will get back to his ballroom, right? Or Trump would get back to, you know, the asylums and the mental institutions, right? You remember? You could ask him anything, ask him about golfing, and 2 minutes later, he's like, jails and prisons and mental institutions. Dude, right? It is an obsession.
It's impossible for us or for any nation to know what Israel's red lines are in a conflict because we're unsure of their capabilities. We won't acknowledge them. And so, for example, what happens if Israel's air defenses are overwhelmed, missiles are raining down on Israel, maybe even Iranian missiles are attacking Israel's nuclear facilities? Question: at what point does Israel deploy a nuclear weapon in that scenario? How overwhelmed? What constitutes an existential threat? Which of their capabilities would need to be imperiled or compromised? When does Israel use that red button? When do they use the nuclear option? It's almost impossible for anybody to even speculate as long as there is not transparency. And this is jeopardizing diplomacy. It increases the risk of miscalculation. And it makes the entire situation far more dangerous for the United States and American soldiers in the region. This is the argument from the Democrats. So they are demanding that the Trump administration change the policy and disclose to the whole world and acknowledge that Israel is a nuclear power, that they are not a signatory on the NPT, and they've got weapons. It's a pretty big deal. And it's not a lot of Democrats, but like I said, it's about 20 Democrats in the House that sent the letter. And this is part of, overall, a change in the Democratic Party posture. It's been going on since the Biden administration.
Dude, look at this. Here's the non-woke. You ready? Here's the comment.
I'm a non-woke moderate Democrat. I think the GOP needs to be destroyed. I think the corrupt criminal government of Trump needs to be slowed down. We need to impeach the orange. It's time to put this nigga in a peach. Trump needs to be placed inside of a crystal. He needs to be impeached. This fat orange, tiny hands needs to be impeached. And then in 28, no Vance, no Rubio. We have to burn down the whole party.
Dude, do you see him though? Did you see him after he says the N-word? You see him? How he like, dude, he's such a fucking dink. You know what I'm saying? You see him? He like throws it in there and he like slides it in there to try and be cool with the whatever, the 𝗙𝗍𝗄𝗧 bass. But as soon as he says it, he just gets like, oh, yeah, he's like a kid performing for, you know, somebody, like a kid trying to get accolades. You can just see it in him. right? You see it in him where he realizes what he's doing, but he is like so transparently like trying to be the hard guy, you know what I'm saying? He is like just such a clown, dude. It is like clown behavior. He's like performing for a child, performing for other kids, right? A child performing for other kids. Dude, fucking idiots, bro. Idiots.
Hello? It should have always just been about Nick Fuentes.
Dude, what does he say here? He's like,
What part of how can you call it a movement? Do we have to do the I'm the movement? Hello? It should have always just been about Nick Fuentes. I am the movement. What do you mean?
dude, he's like, what is he even rambling about? Right? What is he even rambling about? Dude, like, look at this though. See, the MAGA people are like saying, see, we told you, he's not MAGA. He's a Democrat. Look at this. Nick Fuentes, we told you so. By his own admission, says he's a Democrat. We told you it was an op. We told you he's not on our side. It was never infighting. Right? Dude, they're like,
I care about affordability. I care about foreign interventions. I care about the border. I'm a non-woke moderate Democrat. I think the GOP needs to be destroyed. I think the corrupt criminal government of Trump needs to be slowed down. We need to impeach the orange. It's time to put this nigga in a peach. Trump needs to be placed inside of a crystal. He needs to be impeached. This fat orange, tiny hands needs to be impeached. And then in 28, no Vance, no Rubio. We have to burn down the whole party.
But dude, burning down, right? Burning down the whole party. Dude, that's like so fast. Like, think about that though, guys. Think about like, they're all of what he does is like fake, okay? Cosplay, like, you know, somebody said cosplay, and I mean, when you think about it, okay, his audience, okay, the people, this is hard for me though, guys, okay, really, when you think about the groypers, because we watch Nick Fuentes and we pick him apart and we belittle this guy. But there are people that like watch him unironically. And that is a little unnerving to me, guys, that people that watch this guy unironically, the same with like 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗀, you know what I'm saying? Like people who watch Fuentes and 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗀 and are like really like, yeah, man, those guys are really tuned in. Like that, those people are fucking scary. It is scary to think that there are people that watch this guy unironically. And you got to wonder, how are they reacting to this? Okay? Because obviously the MAGA people are like, oh, we told you he's a Democrat. And he's like trolling the MAGA people. But like, what are the incels thinking of this? I mean, they're probably ignoring the Democrat shit. They probably know he's trolling like we do. But I think they do like the idea of burning down the GOP. Okay, because I think they're going to burn down anyone, okay, right? Like, I think the groypers, even if James Fishback became president, once Fishback became president, they would start to burn him down. Don't you think? I don't think they would ever, like, even if one of their own got in power, they would call him a sellout. They would start, like, trying to burn him down. They would start trying to... The minute he did one thing that was not full-on Nazi, they'd be like, aha, right? I mean, you know, because I don't think they can actually ever truly be supportive. Okay. I think that anybody who wins the presidency is a part of a system that doesn't include them. And so they're going to attack everybody that has that level of power. That is their shtick, right? I mean, I don't remember Fuentes being the big, you know, he was not the big Trump supporter. I think he was not a Kamala supporter, right? He wasn't, you know, they were never going to choose Kamala over Trump. But I think they just really want to burn it all down. Like, period. They want to burn it all down and laugh at the fire. Probably like, you know, dude, let's go. All right, hold on. We got one here from Ella. Let's go, Ella. LFG, let's go. Want to make sure I haven't missed any here. Let me look back. And, dude, I did miss one from Day Trader. That is Trump derangement syndrome. Thank you, Day Trader. Sorry, I missed that one, boss. I knew I missed one there. But, guys, all right, we got 12 minutes. 27 in 12. We are getting down to the wire. Now we got to focus. We got to go into Carnival Barker mode. Thank you, Ella. Dude, 27 in 12. I do, though, there are a number of factions in the MAGA party that want to burn the MAGA party down, okay? Candace Owens wants to burn the GOP to the ground. Tucker Carlson wants to burn the Trump admin to the ground. Nick Fuentes and the Groypers want to burn the GOP to the ground. Independents are deeply affected by the economy, and any independent that is not like super religious and big on Trump is probably going to vote for the Democrats. You know, so I still don't think they have a shot at winning these midterms, no matter how many districts they fucking gerrymander. I think I think even with the gerrymanders, they're like the GOP is still going to get slaughtered. And yeah, dude, they are. Tucker, Candace, and Nick Fuentes are all the same faction, but they are very different. They have very different audiences. Even though they are all the same faction, like Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson will talk to Nick Fuentes, but they don't embrace him, okay? They don't. They like keep enough political distance so they don't get caught up with him. Although, you know, Tucker did do an interview with him. Tucker will talk to anyone. But I think though Candace is like super conspiracy. She's got a little bit of the younger crowd. Certainly she's got many more like people of color than Nick Fuentes, right? Where they are more like white groypers, white fucking, you know, perpetually, you know, middle school dudes. And then Tucker is old money. Okay, so I think even though they're all the same America First faction, I think they have three very different fan bases and three very different support groups, which is why the three of them all sort of disavowing Trump and the GOP, I think it has a much wider range than if just three people from the same faction were anti-Trump. I think that they're the criticality coming from those three different like far right groups is going to be really fucking toxic to Trump in the midterms. At the very least, there's just a bunch of people that aren't excited. A bunch of people feel let down. All right, guys, we got 9 minutes. 9 minutes, right? Let's go. 27 and 9, guys. Oh, shit. Here we go. Dude, 27 in 9. Let's go. Biggest cult in the world? Dude, MAGA, like, I mean, it's unpredictable. We don't know. We don't know what they're going to do, guys. Ella, let's fucking dance. Yes, we're going to need a dance party. Let's go, guys. We only need 26 more. Let's go. Dude, we only need 26 more. We got this. Let's hit that fucking dance party. Get down on it. Get down on it. Oh. Dude, the Fuentes. What a fucking troll, dude. That guy. Bro, you know, the people that buy into that shit. Jesus. Lord have mercy. Lord help us. Right? Tucker, no. I don't think Tucker I think Tucker, what Tucker wants to do now is Tucker wants to talk to Graham Platner. Okay, Drew Ladd, let's go. I think Tucker is he's got his eyes set on Graham Platner, because the thing about this, guys, pedal to the metal people, let's go, Ingrain, let's go. Because let me just tell you about Tucker, okay? The Adam Mockler, the Dean Withers, those types of crowd, the Harry Sisson, those people are never, ever, ever going to support Tucker Carlson. He has no reason to, because he's not going to peel away any of their voters, okay? But he is intrigued by Graham Platner, because Graham Platner is winning over independents and some MAGA voters. There are people who like Trump and listen to Graham Platner. And those are the people that Tucker wants. Is he knows he's never going to get liberals, but he knows that he can get disaffected fucking, independents and anybody who's conservative leaning. Okay? Conservative leaning is where he's headed. And dude, Engrain, let's go. And Tucker is from Maine. Right? He has a house in Maine. Okay? So Tucker is like, whoa, if he can buddy up with Graham Platner in Maine, that could potentially give him an in to the new disaffected anti-establishment portion of the left wing. Okay? See, Adam Mockler, Harry Sisson, and Dean Withers and Parker, those guys are all establishment. Okay? I love Adam Mockler, but he's an establishment Dem. Okay? He is. He's an establishment Dem. He is Midas Touch. He is CNN. He is very much party establishment guy. Okay? You know what I'm saying? If Gavin Newsom wins the primary, Adam Mockler is going to be they're already like in the Gavin Newsom camp. Okay? And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't have an issue with establishment Dems. I don't. I can respect the hell out of them as long as they're fighters, right? But I don't think Tucker has no interest in establishment Dems, okay? He has an interest, though, in anti-establishment Dems, because I think he thinks he can win some of them, right? Like Tucker, if he runs, he is going to run as, I'm telling you right now, guys, don't laugh at me when I say this, but Tucker is going to run like Barack Obama. He is going to run Barack Obama's campaign / Bernie Sanders. He is going to run as an anti-establishment who agrees with the youth. Okay? That's what he's going to do. He will, if he runs for president, he is going to run as an anti-establishment youth-aligned fucking candidate. He's going to try and emulate Obama, and he's going to try and emulate Bernie Sanders, okay? And he's going to focus on the hot button issue of Israel and genocide, even though he doesn't care, okay? And he's going to focus on affordability, but he's going to leave out the part that he's old money, okay? So, like, we'll see. We'll see what happens, right? It's going to be interesting to say the least. But guys, we have 3 minutes and 45 seconds. Dude, it's now or never for dance party. Let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Dude, fuck Tucker Carlson, bro. Dude, seriously. Fuck Tucker. Dude, Platner plus Tucker equals danger to Fetterman-esque. Dangerous to Fetterman-esque. Dude, John Fetterman, guys. John Fetterman is going to run for president at some point. Okay? I'm telling you right now, Fetterman is going to run for president. He is. Baby Peach, let's go. Dude, we got 3 minutes, guys. We got a jam. We can do this. We can do this. We only need 21 in 3 minutes. That's only 7 a minute. That's easy peasy, dude. We got this. Dude, Fetterman is going to run for president. Okay? He is. Ella, let's go. He is. I don't know if he's going to make it deep into it, but he is going to run for president. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Waste of money if he does. They never use their own money. Okay? They don't. But dude, Fetterman, they did a poll of people. Dude, PK, let's go. They did a poll of like young men or whatever saying, who do you like as president? And a bunch of them were like, we like John Fetterman. And I'm like, oh, I know they do, because John Fetterman is a middle of the road, big dumb ogre, right? Who would put a shotgun in a black man's face. That is like American right wingers. That's literally their candidate, their dream candidate is somebody who's brain dead. So the bumpkins think, oh, I relate to this guy. And he stays right in the middle of the fucking like pseudo right politics. And he'd also put a shotgun in the face of a black man. That is literally everything a right wing candidate needs to succeed in America, dude. It's literally it. Fucking idiot, dude. Jesus. All right, guys, 1 minute. 18 in 1. All right, we're gonna have to go in bonus time. We're gonna be stuck here for another minute or two. Let's go. Let's get this. Dude, I need a dance party tonight, guys. I absolutely do. I'm gonna need to dance, boss. DDR. I'm gonna need a fucking dance revolution, my friends. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. All right, so what do we need? We need, all right, 13, 17 away, and green. Let's go, dude. Mariners, White Sox. Dude, we better win that White Sox series. They're pretty good right now. Bryce was telling me about one of their players that's like insanely good. All right, 25 seconds. Let's go. 17 away, guys. 17 away. We got this. Ooh. 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 Dude, Fetterman. Dude, Fetterman is... He's a clown, dude. Let's go. DL, Dance Revolution. Let's go. Dude, PK, let's go. All right, guys. So we're 15 away. I'm starting a new one. I'm starting a 15 so we can get it. Okay, we're going to do it 15 and 15. Let's go. There it is. So we made 15. Now we need 15. Let's hit it, though. We're going to fucking ride it out. I'm not going to wait around till the last minute while we got some fucking energy here. We're going to get this cranking, and then we're going to move on to the next event. Now that we hit Fetterman, dude, we hit a roadblock, dude. I'm not sure what's worse, dude, hantavirus or John Fetterman. I'll get back to you on that. Dude, let me mull it over. Let's see. I think maybe hantavirus is a little bit worse, but dude, Fetterman is like hantavirus in a sweatshirt. You know what I'm saying? That's about where we're at with Fetterman. What happened to him? Did he sell his soul too? No. I mean, guys, I'll be honest. I'll be honest with Fetterman. I think it's the same thing that happened to Brianna Wu, okay? Where it's the support for Israel, okay? You know what I'm saying? Like his support for Israel readjusted his political alignment. And that's sort of what kind of happens. And where, you know, something like that happens where you find out that support for Israel was a way high ranking issue in his own personal sphere. And then that support for Israel opened him up to then it's like, oh, now I have a wider base than just the Democratic Party. Like I have a more national base. I mean, he was already a senator, right? He was already a fucking, a statewide candidate, which are statewide candidates tend to be a little less severe unless they're in a total blue state, right? Like the statewide candidates already have to win those independents in the middle as opposed to like a created district. But I think the Israel thing really aligned him with a different group of people that like then I think once that happened, he started thinking about like, maybe I have a national audience now, right? Like maybe I have like not just a Pennsylvania audience. Maybe I can go national. Pony up, people. Yes, end grain. I mean, I think he wants fucking, I think he wants a bigger slice of the pie. And he just stumbled upon like something that made his pie look bigger, right? I mean, think about like one of the things that's really crazy about this, guys. You have to go to bed, have a dance party. Thank you, Sumi. So guys, you have to think about this. Think about this in terms of star power, okay? That like people go and they become a senator or a representative and they start getting attention, okay? And Fetterman started off by getting attention because of mental health. And he was a thing. He got like a lot of notoriety, and then he did the sweatshirt thing, and then pretty soon Fetterman became this name that was like getting talked about. And like if you look at it, he sort of like started evolving his take on whatever sort of created the most noise. Like I look at Fetterman and I see that Fetterman like I see that Fetterman kind of like reminds me a little of Nancy Mace, where he started getting a lot of attention, and the more attention he started getting, the more he started like mining that attention, okay? Because he has bigger ambitions. He definitely has bigger ambitions. Sam, let's go. I mean, guys, if you have somebody that, Engrain, let's go. If you have somebody that gets into the national spotlight and they start like getting attention, if they have national ambitions, you're going to see their personalities evolve in a way that raises their profile. You know what I'm saying? It's just kind of the way it goes, dude. Engrain, let's go. Dude, Engrain's fucking being the quarterback right now. And I think he I think when he got a taste of that spotlight and started realizing that he was a figure that generated a lot of like electricity, I think that Fetterman like kind of got very enamored by that. And I think his internal desires to be like more than just the senator from PA in a sweatshirt, right? He started thinking like, oh shit, I think I can get a much bigger slice of this pie. Dude, Engrain, let's go. Yeah, I honestly don't think he has, I don't think he has brain damage. I know people are saying that, but I don't really think he has brain damage. I just think he has, I think he has some, you know, delusions of grandeur for sure. And I think he started getting a lot of attention from the very beginning, and he became a very like polarizing figure. And I think that he started thinking, how can I parlay this? You know what I'm saying? And what's more though is him having health issues can also like, that can sort of like, you know, start changing what your priorities are. You know what I mean? You know? I mean, once you have health issues, like your priorities can definitely change. 𝗙𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏👏👏👏👏👏👏👏👏👏👏👏👏👏👏👏👏👏👏👏 But he's definitely like a very big Zionist, and you know, the Zionism is becoming less popular in his home party. And so he's, you know, I think he's like wondering if he can parlay that into something bigger, right? But people, you know, when they have big health issues, like they do adjust their priorities for sure, you know? But I mean, I think though, if you try to reduce something to somebody has a stroke and then they got brain damage and all of a sudden become MAGA, that's a little bit of a childish way of looking at it. And so the thing is though, is you don't know if he was a Zionist, okay? You don't really know, like people don't always wear their Zionism on the sleeve. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody knew Brianna Wu was going to be some crazy Zionist either. And people just get affected, okay? Because people have certain things that maybe they don't like wear on the outside of their sleeve. And then that issue comes up and it becomes this huge thing, right? Like, you know what I mean? And Green, gotta run. Here's your last one to toss into the pool. Thank you, boss. Like, it's like the transphobia with 𝗙𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 that transphobic. And then eventually that birthing person and the transgender community, started becoming this huge issue to her. But like nobody looked at 𝗙𝗏𝗏 in 2020 and thought she's transphobic. And then there's I don't know, people become fucking, people's true colors eventually come out. You know what I'm saying? Right? I think people do a variety of shit, But I know he wants to be president. That much I know. All right, 6 more, guys. We're almost there. He definitely wants to be president. And what's more is people are like, there was a thing that happened here. You ready? Look at this. Right here, dude. Where is it? It was... It was just today, okay, where, there was a fucking poll. Four minutes, guys. 6 away. We got this. Where's the tweet, dude? I did reply to it today. Dude, boss, you saw the documentary last night. So good. Steph, yeah, I know. I could tell when you mentioned the Jane's Addiction tape. I knew you had seen the documentary because I know that that's where that story comes out. Let me see here. Let me find it. There was a poll today, guys, where they actually asked people, right? There was a poll that came out, and I know he's been fucking monitoring this shit, but I predict he's going to run for president, John Fetterman. I think that's going to happen because he knows he's burned down. He knows he's burned down the fucking Democratic shit, and all the Democrats are mad at him, but he has opened up his fucking, like, he's opened up himself to a whole different crowd. Okay, that I don't think he's going to be successful, but I think he is, certainly his health scares and the shit he's been through, his delusions of grandeur, I think, are significantly inflated. But where was it? What did I say? Okay, I know how to find it. Shotgun. Okay? This is it. Ready? It was this post right here. You ready? So look at this. So there was a group of Trump 24 male voters who are mad at Trump, and they asked them to raise hands for who they might support in a presidential run. Okay? And all of them said Rubio. 1.5 said Vance, and 4 said John Fetterman. So he is like appealing to the dumb Trump crowd, like the brain dead magas who look at him and think he's like the brain dead ogre type. Let's get this dance. Let's go, 𝗙𝗏𝗄𝗏. Let's go. Isn't that crazy? Little Marco, yeah. Dude, Vance is wildly unpopular. He is wildly unpopular. But again, though, this was Trump voters, Trump males. Okay, this was Trump males that are upset with Donald Trump. Trump male voters upset with Trump, like Rubio and Fetterman over JD Vance. And but the Trump voters, though, dude, 4 more, guys. We got this. The Trump males, I feel like this is the George Bush, like young George Bush complex. Okay? Because the thing about young George Bush was like sometimes these guys that seem like slow mentally and they're sort of like dumb hillbilly-ish ogres. Like a lot of the middle Americans like that because they feel like they're on the same level. This is part of the reason why they like Donald Trump, right? I'm kind of surprised in their support for Rubio. I am a little bit surprised with that. Steph, let's go. But they do 3 more, guys. But they do like they do like their dumb candidates, right? 𝗙𝗏𝗄𝗏𝗏, let's go. Again, I'm sure his stroke had a little bit to do with it, but I also don't think it's just the stroke. Okay? I mean, John Fetterman like chased a guy and pointed a shotgun in a black dude's face when he was like, involved in government previously. He's always had right-wing tendencies, guys. 15 seconds, 2 away, guys. Let's go. Down to the wire. I mean, you know what I'm saying? He hadn't had a stroke when he ran around and chased that guy and pointed a shotgun in his face. 1 away, guys. Let's go. 1 more and we got this. And that behavior like ran under the radar. But that is a right-wing coded. Dude, Steph, let's go. There we go. Let's go. 𝗙𝗏𝗄𝗏𝗏, let's go. It is a right-wing coded move to fucking, chase somebody around and point a shotgun in their face, guys. That is right-wing coded, right? Dude, that he did that, yes, like years ago. So I mean, people have right-wing coding And then sometimes it just, you know, and you know, he also he's got an Israel thing, right? Dude, it's definitely not woke, right? You know, he had a little bit of right-wing coding. Yeah, I mean, I hear somebody's talking about Fetterman's wife, but like, dude, I'm not taking anyone from Fetterman's camp as like gold. You know what I'm saying? Right? I'm just saying the guy was always right-wing coded. He was always right-wing coded. I mean, the shotgun was a thing that happened years ago. Okay. And you know, it's Pennsylvania. You know what I'm saying? It's Pennsylvania. He did run as a progressive, but so did Kyrsten Sinema. Okay. She ran as a progressive too. But sometimes people have like little underlying things. Did I talk about Tennessee? I have not talked about Tennessee. Dude, I'm still processing Tennessee, boss. You know, I'll be honest. I'm a little upset about Tennessee, but like I'm not surprised. I mean, that Tennessee is one of the most racist states in America. And if you ever wonder about Tennessee being the most racist state, I encourage you to go there and go like spend some time at like Shiloh, or there's a lot of Civil War battlefields there. And so that state, okay, like Tennessee has a lot of Civil War ghosts there. Okay. It's like super fucking racist. And I did spend a significant amount of time driving across that state. I used to play Nashville and fucking, oh my God, dude, where's the pilot light? Dude, I can't even remember. All the way on the east side. It was Knoxville. So I would play Nashville and Knoxville every tour, right? I'd forgotten the name of Knoxville. Dude, Knoxville was such a shithole. But so guys, 20 years ago, let me just tell you my Tennessee experience. I'm going to take our sidebar here. We'll probably cover it tomorrow. But so I had a cousin, okay? His name was Floyd. Everyone called him Beep. He had this really mean father. They moved to Tennessee, okay? They moved to a small town in Tennessee when I was a kid where the sheriff drove around with a fucking open beer can tall boy on his dashboard. Okay. They like used to drive with alcohol on their dashboards of the car. The sheriff would be drinking while he was working. Nobody fucking cared. But that town was racist as fuck. Like you cannot even imagine the racism there. This was in the 70s and 80s. We would go to Tennessee and we would hang out with Beep and his fucking parents. And it was like, dude, it was ruthless because Beep's dad used to beat the fucking shit out of him. And it was like, it was just hard to be around. Okay. But like that town was racist as fuck. Okay. That was what I saw as a kid. Then I didn't spend a lot of time in Tennessee. I was never there in the 90s. Okay. I then went back in the 2000s when I was touring. And I used to play in Nashville on every tour, and I would play in Knoxville. Okay, Knoxville was terrible. But so I would drive across the state always. Those shows were always back to back. Okay, now, back in the days of going to Beep and his parents, we would go to the Civil War battlefields. I went to all that shit when I was like 10 years old. There's a lot of Civil War scars there in fucking the state of Tennessee. But like, guys, can I tell you, Nashville's a pretty cool city. Okay. Knoxville is a fucking shithole. Okay. But if you drive across that state, those little towns, like where you pull over and get gas in the middle of that state, are like dude, there's still like sundown towns there. You know what I mean? Like it is like real super white, super Christian, super like fucking, you know, like if you go there with a black girlfriend, if you're a white guy, goes to one of those small towns with a black girlfriend, you may get taken out into the woods by some fucking good old boys. I mean, it is like redneck and fucking, you know what I'm saying? It is like redneck and like scary redneck. You know, I personally thought it was, even though there's a lot of deep racism in Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, all through the South, Georgia, definitely South Carolina, I don't know, Tennessee is like scary racism, okay? It like to me always felt like kill you racism, you know? And that's kind of the difference, okay? Whereas, you know, the racism in Louisiana and Mississippi and Alabama is like real, like out in the open, and the black people there have to, in the small towns, have to sort of like know their place. But like Tennessee was like scary, like kidnap you kind of racism is what I felt 20 years ago. And I was like, dude, I just didn't like that state other than Nashville. You know, there was a band in Nashville that I was pretty close with, and they were super cool. So I had good times in Nashville. Knoxville, again, was a shithole. The Pilot Light's a terrible fucking venue. There's like, you know, like rats and shit in this venue, and the people there were really creepy, and like everybody in Knoxville thought I was gay because I had purple hair. And so Knoxville was like super depressed. But like, dude, the middle of the state of Tennessee, like if I never go to any of those towns again for the rest of my life, I will be good with it. Okay? Dude, that's what it felt like. It was just real shitty. And so I guess I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised about their like, I mean, all the shit that went down with Justin Pearson and you know what I'm saying? And like the Tennessee 3 and fucking, I mean, they have been at it, guys. They have been at the forefront of like the white racist sort of like post-Obama movement and really shitty too. So I'm not surprised. I mean, they've been wanting to do that forever. And I mean, they've been like disenfranchising people of color in Tennessee a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like a ton, dude. Let's go back, dude. Chai said, I grew up as a mixed race teenager in Berwick, Pennsylvania. The racism was so bad that I dropped out in the 10th grade after years of verbal and physical abuse. Oh my God. I'm so sorry you had to go through that, man. Dude, Pennsylvania sucks, bro. It does. Dude, Pennsylvania, dude, it sucks. It does. It does, dude. Pennsylvania sucks. About the only good memory, dude, Philadelphia, super cool. Okay? I loved Philadelphia. I have nothing bad to say about Philadelphia. I'm glad you're doing better, man. Philadelphia was amazing. And I did have one experience about Pennsylvania that I do want to share with a Pennsylvania state trooper, where once I was driving across this, like one of the freeways, and that went like right across the middle of the state, and I got really tired. So I pulled over on the side of the road and I fell asleep in my van on the side of the road rather than drive tired. But I left the van door open because it was really hot and muggy. It was like August, and it gets hot as shit there, okay? It is like so muggy in Pennsylvania, like stiflingly muggy in the summer in August. So I left my van door open, and then, guys, this was like somewhere in the middle, like Harrisburg-y or something, somewhere in the fucking center of the state. But I woke up at like 8 a.m. with a fucking state trooper opening the door and peering his head in. And I like woke up and I was like, oh, I'm really sorry. you know, I was so tired. I didn't want to like drive and sleep, and there was no rest area. And I just pulled over and I'm sleeping like I'm just a guy on tour, one-man indie rock band. And he was like, no, he's like, you're good. He's like, I have no problem with you. And like, thank you for not driving when you're tired. He's like, the only reason I came in here is when I see a van on the side of the road and the doors open a crack. He's like 99 times out of 100, there's a dead body in there. And so I just needed to make sure that I didn't need to call the coroner. And he's like, you can go back to sleep. And then he took off, dude. He was like so funny, bro. He was just so matter of fact about it. He's like, no, like, it's not a problem. I don't care. But I just needed to make sure that I didn't need to get a coroner out here. And I was like, all right. That was it. Dude, how'd I go back to sleep? I was tired, bro. I was like, you know, I mean, I figured that a dead body that ends up on the freeway probably, you know, had something other than just a guy on tour. Dude. Oh, shit. He was guarding a Christian tour bus. That's crazy. Yeah, no, he was real happy. He was real happy that I was alive, dude. And he was actually pretty cool. I mean, for the most part, you know, I like didn't have a lot of cop issues on the road. But yeah, dude, tour life, you do have some funny run-ins often. But there are some like states where you just don't want to run into the cops, you know? And I mean, that's kind of like for me, just in the South, especially Texas, you don't really want to run into the police in like Texas and fucking Mississippi and Louisiana. You don't really want to have run-ins with the police. Alabama, down there. You don't. They're like not trustworthy. You know what I'm saying? Like there are some parts of the country, okay, where, you know, I mean, I hate all cops. Don't get me wrong, okay? I hate all cops. But as a white guy, okay, for the most part as a white guy, I have a get out of jail free card with the cops because I have that white privilege thing, okay? When you're a purple-haired rock and roller, your white privilege is knocked down a few pegs. But like the thing about the South with Texas and Mississippi and Louisiana is the cops are like, they're lawbreakers, okay? They are like lawbreakers, okay? They are, dude. New Orleans too. I was in a venue in New Orleans and there was a cop drinking double fucking screwdrivers. He had like 5 of them. And I'm like, I saw the badge and I'm like, dude, you're getting off work? And he's like, no, he's like, my shift starts in 20 minutes. Dude, he drank like fucking like 13 shots of vodka before he started his fucking shift, bro. I'm like, dude, yeah, no thank you. You don't want to run into a cop who just had a fucking 5th of vodka before he starts his fucking job, dude. Dude, it's like, no. They're like the kind that will like pull the trigger and then put a gun in your hand and write up some bullshit report, dude. It's not cool. You know, like in those states, I just don't want to run into any, you know, no interaction, especially in a small town, dude. Like that's my suggestion, okay? If you go into West Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Southern Georgia, the panhandle of Florida, if you are driving through there, do not speed in a small town, okay? Do not do it. Because, like, if you get pulled over in a small town, they may, like, plant something in your car to arrest you just to, like get your parents on the horn and try and pull, like, $2,000 out of you or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like that kind of shit where you think, oh, shit, these guys would plant some weed in my car and then tell me, like, we're going to hold you here and put you in prison unless you come up with like $5,000. It's like that kind of vibe, dude. Like, it's just not, it ain't right. You know what I mean? It ain't right. Dude, Mississippi Burning was a great movie. Dude, it ain't right, dude. It's fucking, it is like, it just gives me the creeps, dude. Even as a white guy, like I can't even imagine being a black person down there, you know, right? The kind that unloads a whole magazine and loads another. Yes. Dude, I'm serious. I can't even imagine what it's like to be a person of color in the South. Because guys, when I was driving through small towns in the South, even as a white guy, I was like scared shitless of like, you know, ending up in jail for something bullshit. You know, I'm serious, dude. Dude, that shit is just toxic. Just fucking toxic, bro. All right. All right. There we go. That's my spiel. Yeah. Like bored. I feel like they're bored and they just like, they like to flex their power. Right? Dude, oh shit. They would fill up gas cans to like not stop in small towns. That makes a lot of sense. Dude, it is, guys, it's pretty gnarly. It's pretty gnarly. You know, I did though. I had a little bit of a love affair though with New Orleans. And you know, I almost moved to New Orleans at one point. I'm glad I didn't, but because I think I'd get too sad in the South. I don't think I could live there. But I did have a love affair with New Orleans. Like New Orleans, I don't know, man. New Orleans is pretty special, right? The people in New Orleans are really like, man, there's like a warrior spirit there where the people in New Orleans are like, they remind me of like explorers. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. There's something there that is like really special, you know? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, no, I can imagine, Nicole. I think there's a lot of, like, I think I would have probably succumbed to my depressive side if I had lived there because there's a lot of ghosts. There's a lot of pain there. But I think also, though, it is that pain and the type of resilient people that live there that, like, I like that type of people. And guys, there was Bismarck, North Dakota was another place that is like that. Okay. That's very different than New Orleans, but there's like, if you go to Bismarck, there is like the pain of the native people in that state. And there is like a resilient type of person that like the weather's really extreme and the racism is extreme and the pain of like the plains people where there's a certain type of people there in Bismarck. If you find the good ones, the ones that aren't the racist shitters that are, yeah, they're like so chill. They can just, any fucking like perplexity can happen and they're just unmoved by it. They're like, nah, we got this. There's like a thing there, man, that like, dude, there was an indie group of people like indie rockers in fucking Bismarck and Oklahoma City and Norman, right in Tornado Alley in Oklahoma had the same thing, man. There's like the people that are not like the fucking racist weirdos, right? When you find the people that are fucking, you know, humanists in that Tornado Alley area, there's just it's like a resolve that like a tornado could rip through and destroy all their houses. And they're like, we ain't going anywhere. Like, I'll fucking pitch a tent and wait for the next tornado. You know what I mean? There's like I don't know. There's a weird vibe in the really extreme sort of places where there's a lot of pain that like the people that settle there are like, I don't know. There's a vibe, you know, there's a vibe. It is the Bible Belt. Yeah, no, you gotta, I mean, all of those cities though have really terrible populations. They do. Like Bismarck has a terrible population. And a huge part of Bismarck is like, they're like 90. Like, dude, I went to a restaurant like like a Chili's or whatever in Bismarck, North Dakota. And I was like the youngest person there by like 40 years. Everybody in that town is like 100 years old. But the young people that were in that town, like the indie rockers, the sort of liberal emo people that were in Bismarck, were like the most chill, like crazy, fucking unflappable, like, I don't know. They had that quality. People that live in really extreme areas have this quality. Like the people that stay there, I don't know, there's something about them that's kind of magical. And New Orleans had that vibe too, where it's like really extreme. It's very extreme. I mean, the whole city is like touches the ocean, but it's below sea level. It is like you're literally risking your life living in New Orleans. And it's always been that way. If you look at the history of New Orleans, everybody had to leave during the summer because it was underwater all summer. It had like 2 feet of water because it's below sea level. And the malaria, it would wipe everybody out. And so there's like a history of like trauma. Yeah, there is. There's a history of like death. And you know, Bismarck, North Dakota is like that too. Really extreme weather, really extreme 100 below zero in the winter and like 100 degrees in the summer. And there's 1,000 ghosts of like the native people that got massacred there. And it's like really miserable. And yet the people that like the cool people that survive that misery have this sort of like unflappable, like there's nothing you can do to like get them, like they're just not afraid of anything. I don't know. I like that energy. I like that fucking energy. And I mean, you get that energy in big cities, but you don't often get it in a place like, you know, the middle of North Dakota. You know what I'm saying? Like most of that state is a shithole, dude. It is. It's a fucking shithole. But I don't know, man. Dude, Kim, let's go. They did a study. They say New Orleans will be underwater in a few decades. Yeah, man. And the other thing, guys, that's crazy about New Orleans is like, if you guys have ever been there, but like they live backwards, okay? Which means like if you go to New Orleans, most of those houses, they don't use the door on the street, okay? There's a door on the street, but like the real door is like in the back, okay? Where there's like a gate and you go around to the back and they have little fucking like protected areas off the street. So like the back of the house is like the front of the house there. You know, it's like, I don't know. They live in these narrow, skinny, long plots and they all use the back. The back door is like their front door. And that's really different too. It's like you have to come back into their little private area. You know, it's neat, dude. It's cool, dude. It's cool. I liked it, but yeah, man. And all the buildings are like sagging on one another. Like, you know, dude, you've always wanted to go there. You should go there. In particular, I mean, I'm kind of a hipster, so I liked Magazine Street. Okay, that was the area that I like, which is totally hipster. It is totally like, you know, the snooty like record store people and the clothing boutiques and shit. I really liked Magazine Street. The streets there, there's a lot of like restaurants and shit over there. That's a little like, you know, the buildings are still all old, saggy New Orleans, but it's also kind of like a hipster sort of like, you know, I don't know. It's a, you know, not as gritty as like the French Quarter and shit, but it's like, I don't know. It's pretty cool. Dude, you used to live next to Tulane? Let's go. Yeah, no, it's really neat. Neat city. I think you should go. And I will say too, that like, I think if you go, you should drive across Pontchartrain too. because that is a really weird experience too, man. Like driving across, like right on the north side is this massive Lake Pontchartrain, and there's little roads that just drives across the center of this fucking massive lake, dude. And it is like really like weirdly isolating. I drove through it in the rain once, and it was like the rain down there is like so hard. But like you want to drive across Pontchartrain. It's like, it's weird. It's just weird. I don't know how to describe it. It is like a weird, very, very unique experience. Unlike, like, it's just very unique, very unique. It's cool, right? But I did though. It rains there like crazy rain. And I did drive once from New Orleans all the way through Alabama, all the way into southern Tennessee. It was like 8 hours, okay? 8-hour drive, and the rain never let up. Like so loud that I would be on the phone and people would be like, what is that sound? I'm like, that's the sound of the rain hitting the fucking windshield for literally 8 straight hours through fucking 3 states. Never let up. Not for 1 second. It's like insane. Like we don't even have rain like that here in the Pacific Northwest. It is fucking like the summer rains there are like, it's wild, dude. It's like hail, but it's not. It's just water. But I swear the water drops are like, they're like golf ball size water droplets. Dude, it's fucked up. It is kind of fucked up, dude. Dude, I think people that live there are they're a little insane. But I don't know. It is fun though. It's fun to see. I highly suggest though, if you've never been to New Orleans, you should go. You should go and like just go and there's a lot of Cajun food there, and there's a lot of there's French Cajun people there. And there's a really thriving Black culture there. And there's like a thriving Gothic culture there. There's just so many really I don't want to call them obscure, but there's so many there are so many cultures in New Orleans that in every other major city, those cultures are like fringe. But in New Orleans, they're like the center of it, right? So that's what's so cool is like, it feels like the cultures that are on the fringe of other major cities are all like the center of the culture in New Orleans. And so it's really unique. This French Cajun Gothic, pioneer, Southern Black, I don't know, somebody said Jamaican voodoo. Yeah, there's Haitian, Jamaican, a lot of the islands from the other side of the Gulf of Mexico. I don't know. It's really crazy. Pretty neat, dude. The food's amazing. Yeah, it's cool. It's pretty cool. I do love crawfish and shrimp. I'm a big fan of the crab. I'm a big fan of all of the seafood that's captured in in nets and traps. I like oysters and all that shit. I'm a big fan of the trapped seafood, the non-fish, the crustaceans and shit. Right? But fucking really love it, dude. Is really cool. But I'm glad I didn't move there. I did almost move there. I was looking for stuff, but I think, it's probably a good idea not to live there for me. But all right, we did a little tangent. We did a little New Orleans tangent. Guys, all right, can we end on Cenk Uygur? Governor Jeff Clandry would love to show Bibles up New Orleans ass. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I mean, that is, though, another thing that I guess maybe I like about New Orleans is it is it is like the Bible meets atheism meets paganism. Like, it's pretty wild. Like, there's as much paganism and fucking dark arts in New Orleans as there is the Bible, right? You know, it's pretty cool. But guys, let's end on Cenk Uygur. Thank you for that. Thank you for that little, I'm glad we went on that tangent. I don't know quite how we got there, but I'm glad we went on that little tangent because I do have some very fond memories from New Orleans. But let's end with Cenk Uygur, okay? Because guys, look at this tweet, okay? Look at what Cenk did. Dude, look at this. Dude, like, I'm sorry, dude. It is like so hard to take him seriously because guys, like, the New York Times has interviewed plenty of like pro-Muslim people, okay? They've interviewed Hassan and done pieces about him. They've talked to Mamdani, okay? The New York Times is not like a bunch of whatever bigots. But like the thing that's so funny about this, okay? We ain't all Christians, real or fake, and NOLA. Let's go. Dude, nameless, let's go. The thing, just look at this tweet. He says, I dare New York Times to interview me on tape like they did with Tucker Carlson. They'll never do it because they don't want you to hear anyone defending Muslims. Makes it easier to smear them on behalf of Israel. They do Israeli propaganda disguised as news. Obvious bigots. And it's like, no, Cenk. They'll never do it because you're a fucking nobody. Okay? Because you are not a fucking an important national figure. Okay? You are a dude, what did I say to him? I said, you're basically a nobody. You're a celebrity camel toe judge begging for clout because you fucking trashed your career, dude. Dude, they're so thirsty. I mean, look at this, though. Look at what he says. He's like, I dare the New York Times to interview me, but they won't do it because they're scared of me, right? And it's like, no, dude. You're a nobody. Dude, he's a nobody. I mean, he's more of a somebody than I am, right? Because he has this like history. But if anything, Cenk Uygur is like, he's like a cautionary tale, right? That's really what he is. He's a guy who was once at the top of the progressive YouTube political game, okay? And now he's like a non-issue, right? I know, dude. I know. If you look at like 48,000 views on that, I do have tweets that easily get as much play, okay? Like my Nancy Mace tweet is at 29,000, right? I mean, and dude, how many? I have 50,000 followers. Dude, what does Cenk have? He has like almost 1 million, dude, right? I mean, dude, he's like a fallen star is what he is. Dude, Cenk Uygur. Cenk Uygur, you ready for this, guys? Cenk Uygur is like the James Woods or the Rob Schneider of progressivism. That's what he is. He's like the guy that used to play to the big room, but now he plays to a small group of people on the side stage at the, right? Dude, where they set up a table with a low table with a carpet over it and they call it the fucking stage. It's pushed up against the wall. Dude, that's what he is. He is like the James Woods and the Rob Schneider of progressivism, where it's like people are like, yeah, he kind of used to be somebody sort of, but like now Dude, now he's just looking for a home, dude. He's got a little cup that says, you know, we'll politic for money, right? And I mean, dude, there was a time when these guys were relevant. They were very relevant, guys, in 2014, okay? Right? And then they tried to parlay their relevancy into big political power with Bernie. And then they got their hearts broken, and they've been on the fucking screaming decline ever since. Dude, we'll polish knobs for money. Dude, you got some money? Oh, come here. Oh. All right. Dude, we need a phone call. Yo, Cenk Uygur, please. Yeah, political punk. Yo, 𝗙ecie Uygur. Cenk, what's up, buddy? All right, so I'm looking at your tweet. I know. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's genius. You're daring the New York Times to interview you. They'll never do it because they don't want to hear anyone defending Muslims. Well, I mean, I hate to break it to you, 𝗙cie, but they're never going to do it because you're a fucking nobody, boss. Okay? I know you could have been a contender, right? You think you're somebody, and you and Anna are like desperately, like you're swinging at every pitch, right? You were trying to hit a homer. But boss, you guys are like camel toe judges, okay? And you did have a big moment in the spotlight, and then you fucking burned it all to the ground. So yeah, no, you're the only thing you're gonna be in the New York Times is if they do an expose on like the fucking flatlining of TYT. Like they will write a piece about you when eventually your company goes bankrupt. Yeah, that's coming, boss. Yeah, very soon. And they're going to write about you then, okay? All right, you're a cautionary tale. All right, tell Anna to go fuck herself. All right, you too, buddy. Fuck you. Bye-bye. Dude. You like the phone? Dude, oh shit. What a clown, bro. He is like, dude, I dare the New York Times to interview me. Dude, Natalie made this, dude. She put Tucker's head on Charlie Kirk's body. Oh my God, that's so good. Dude, Natalie came through. Look at that. Remember him and Tucker? I'll take it. That's so good, right? Dude, it's so funny. Dude, these people, who is Tony Bronco? Right? You don't, dude, what is he doing? You have a giant network with listeners everywhere. Oh, shit. Dude, oh my God. You spit pure feelings and zero facts. Everyone's a bigot when they talk negatively about Muslims. Why would they bother interviewing a scumbag like you? Oh, shit, dude. Dude, this one's funny. Has it not crossed your mind that maybe they don't want to interview you because you regularly scream at or about them all the time and you're generally a rude person? Right? Oh, fuck, dude. Someone thinks they're more important than they actually are. Right? Chill, fat Goebbels. Dude, this guy called him Fat Goebbels. Oh my God, you're getting way ahead of yourself. No one gives a shit with your fat Jew-hating stupid ass things and your dumbass conspiracy theory. Dude, this guy just really kind of ravaged him, bro. Oh, fuck, dude. Oh, my God. Dude. Dude, seriously. Dude, I seriously, you gotta wonder if this is somebody's burner account. I think this might be 𝗙ecie𝗶𝗃𝗧's burner account. She's working out some of her own self-hatred in this post right here, dude. Oh, fuck, dude. Oh, shit. That's hilarious. Dude, oh my God. Right? That is funny. Oh, shit, dude. Dude. The new... Dude. Oh my God, that's so funny. Oh. Dude, you're not a respected voice amongst anyone. Why would anyone want to invite you to anything? It's because you're a loud, fat, sweaty, shouty, boring dude. Oh shit, that's a good one. A loud, fat, sweaty, shouty, boring turd. Oh my God. Dude, that's how bad you are, that even giving this guy said the New York Times hates Jews. That's how bad you are, that even given this, they won't give you a sniff. Oh man. Dude. Oh fuck, bro. Dude, he said, this person said, you always say the media hates you, that they say bad things about you. Actually, they barely acknowledge you, but every day, all day, you obsess over the media. I mean, dude, that's pretty accurate right there, isn't it? Isn't it? Because the thing is, guys, as long as I can remember, like Cenk Uygur, after he got fired, like he had his brief stint with MSNBC, and then he got like shit canned. They wouldn't elevate him, and he got all mad. He felt like passed over. But he has continuously been like, they're afraid of me, they hate me, they're out to get me, they squeeze me out. But I literally think they literally just stopped caring about him. They requested he moderate himself if he wanted to be on the network, and he said, fuck you, and they were like, okay, bye-bye. And I don't think they've even thought about him, like mainstream media has not even thought about him since, right? They literally were only interested in him because in that moment, he briefly had this like wave of virality, and he could have like mainstreamed it, but he didn't. He was like, he thought he was bigger than he was all the way back when MSNBC was like even giving him an inch. He thought he was like fucking, right? He did. He thought he was like, you know, who was like a huge media person. I mean, he thought he was Jimmy Kimmel way back when he had the tiniest bit of like media. He thought he was just like Jimmy Kimmel and fucking Jon Stewart or whatever. And they were like, yeah, no, you're not. You're like, we're just sort of seeing if you pan out, dude. Dude. Loves that you're pretty much the only political streamer on Late at Night. Keep grinding, boss man. Thank you, Tots. Appreciate you, boss. Dude, I'm trying to go earlier, but I can't. But yeah, I don't think they got rid of him because they were scared. I think he had a brief flash of like, you know, virality, and they took a chance on him, and he was like, you know, they're like, yeah, we're not going to elevate this. And then he got all butthurt, and he's been anti them ever since. Because again, guys, can I just tell you, if we look at Cenk Uygur, okay, Cenk Uygur, the only reason, okay, you ready for this? I'm going to drop the Cenk Uygur heat right here. I'm going to tell you, this guy, the only reason that Cenk Uygur is anti-establishment is because the establishment rejected him, okay? He is just like Donald Trump in that regard, okay? Because Donald Trump became this Republican guy because the Democratic establishment would never have him, okay? They rejected him. All the people that had clout and money and political power were like, ew, get away from me. All the stars, you're just a cheesy, shitty reality TV star. He got completely rejected, And that made him become this anti-establishment, whatever, Republican guy. Cenk Uygur is just like that, dude. He got rejected by the establishment, and then he became anti-establishment. But he's not anti-establishment because he really has anti-establishment beliefs. He is anti-establishment because they rejected him. Okay, because the reality is Cenk Uygur will take money from anybody. It could be Polymarket, it could be Hillary Clinton, it could be Bernie Sanders, it could be Donald Trump. He'll take money from anyone. He has no guiding principles. He has no backbone of like, I will never go against this belief. He's literally just bitter that he got rejected by the mainstream. And so that's why his anti-establishment doesn't really take off. Okay? Like if you look at Hassan took off because Hassan is actually more anti-establishment. Like inside Hassan is. He's really more fighting the structures and wanting to change the system. But Cenk Uygur is just bitter. This guy's a run-of-the-mill fucking overweight Republican who can't get laid, who's super bitter because he got rejected. And that's it. That's him in a nutshell. Okay? Dude, he would probably take AIPAC money too. I bet he would, right? I bet he would. Maybe he'll have his AIPAC comeback, his come up, his AIPAC come up. Dude, one day, dude, he's going to get so low that he's going to take that AIPAC money and then him and fuck. Dude, that'll be Cenk on the come up when he finally takes that AIPAC check. Dude, and then he'll insist, I was never really a Muslim. I just like was, you know. Dude. Oh shit, bro. All right. On that note, it's time for a dance party, guys. You guys are the best. Thank you. I know that like I'm loud. I am fucking angsty. I'm aggressive, right? You appreciate this late night before sleep? Let's go. It helps the mood. Yeah, I mean, I'm just here, guys. I'm just here to fucking kind of tear into everything and have fun with some good leftist / liberal / you know, whatever, insane viewpoints, right? And I don't know. I don't know if the mainstream's ever going to find me palatable. Probably not. Okay, but like whatevs. I'm used to being working class, so, you know, we'll be fine here, right? YouTube let you like the stream twice. Let's go. Yeah, make sure you like that shit. If you're into this chaos we're spinning, you like that shit. But like, dude, this guy, dude, what a fucking clown, bro. Dude, he really is like, you know, like not, you know, he really is bitter, dude. He really is bitter. Dude, he's really mad at the New York Times. Dude, like, look at him, bro. Polymarket Studios, everybody. All right, thank you, Shinky. Thank you, buddy. We appreciate you. Now it's time to dance, boss. Let's get it. All right. Has he tried crying about it every day? Dude, he does. He wants to be elite so bad. He does. He wants to be like, dude, he wants to be thought of as like a genius, right? He wants to be like a guy. He wants people to be like, yeah, man, that Cenk Uygur is really like, wow, what a shrewd political mind. But he has the worst political takes. I have never seen a human being with worse political acumen than him. I don't know how he became like a progressive viral thing. Okay, it must have been the camel toe judging, because he was saying shit like Donald Trump was gonna quit in his first term. I mean, dude, he's just like, his takes are so out of pocket, like wrong. They're just so wrong. Like, he has no concept of how the political power structure even works, dude. He's just clueless, right? I guess Sam Cedar did kind of allude to that when Cenk was like, oh, thinking he's going to go to Congress and like testify and shit. And Sam's like, dude, nobody's ever going to ask you to testify in Congress, you know? Dude, he's got that Fetterman kind of like getting high on his own supply shit, bro. I think Cenk Uygur is like, he's got that Fetterman turn, right? Where he all of a sudden thinks, oh shit, oh, I'm really important, right? He's got that Fetterman energy. Dude, see, it's not just the stroke, dude. I mean, I don't know if Cenk Uygur had a stroke too, but maybe. All right, you ready? Oh, shit. All right, let's get it. I'm not going to go too long here. We're dancing, baby. We got to dance. Here it comes. You ready? You ready to cut a rug? Yeah, no, I do. I have to start the music. Once I start flapping my gums, it could be an hour later. I know, dude. I'm starting the music right now. Because I know if I don't, I never shut up, dude. Once I start flapping the gums, dude, I start flapping the gums. We're just starting it. Let's get into it. Oh! Let's go! Dude. Oh, I am like so out of breath, bro. Woo! Thank you guys for everything. Sweet dreams. Take care of that mental health. Don't get too down. Screw these MAGA shitters. All right. And I'm blinded by the stars in my eyes. It's true, I've been dreaming of you. Nothing I take can help me escape the truth. The way I behave gets in the way. Nothing I say can take my reputation away. If you need me, well, I need me too. That's a good song. All right, guys. Thank you. Stay radiant. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night. 𝗙𝗪𝗏 Charlie, thank you, buddy. Let's go. Oh, good night. Hey, I just want to change the world. I just want the perfect girl. I don't want to hang around, I'd rather be found. It gets better, I wonder, my pleasure together. Everyone's waiting, anticipating. Change the world, but I'm not gonna wait my turn. I don't ever want to come down, I'd rather be found. It gets better, I wonder, my pleasure together. Everyone's waiting, anticipating.
It's about you. I would never be alone.